We're searching. We're looking around. What can we find? Got a
Luka
microscope?
squinted into the eye hole of the microscope.
This looks weird. Or wild. What is it? Gum. Gum?
Luka adjusted the slide with his fingers to get a better look.
I'm tracking the structural integrity of gum with increasing amounts of chewing. Chewed that one for 47 days.
Luka wiped his hand off on his sweater and gave a nervous laugh.
It's weird, I know.
Beth looked down, timidly tapping the ladder with her feet.
You think it's weird, don't you? A little. But weird can be cool. Oh, wow. Rolo and I have a radio just like this at the treehouse. Probably not exactly like this one. My mom and I tore the whole thing down to the bolts. Fitted it with some state-of-the-art vacuum tubes. She seems pretty awesome. She gets carried away sometimes. I think she feels guilty for working too much. So when she does have time for me, she showers me with high-tech
Luka
overcompensation.
flicked at one of the toggles.
I bet you can get all sorts of stations on this. Not out here in the boonies. Oh my god. You wouldn't believe the stuff I could pick up back in the city. But around here, it's all farm reports and static. Aw, shucks.
Luka bent down to examine the bouquet of wilting flowers. Judging by the odor, they were well past their prime.
Pungent.
He flipped open the attached card.
Happy trails from Coach Walker and all the Fairview Condors? Boy, you weren't kidding about poking around, huh? Oh, sorry. Was this from your old school? The most recent one, yeah. Some schools gave me going away cards. Some did flowers. When they're really trying to feel good about themselves, they do both. So you've moved a lot? Yeah, that's the thing that with having a brilliant parent, there's always a better job somewhere else. These flowers would last longer if you put them in some water. That's the sort of thing I would do if I cared. Well, you cared enough to keep them is all. Luka, can I ask you something? Of course. Dang, didn't that hurt? I'll be honest. That hurt more than I expected. Well, at least you looked cool doing it.
Beck took a moment to watch the rivulets of water running down the window.
Do you ever feel alone? Like when people are around? Well, Rolo can be pretty absent-minded sometimes. I'm serious. Does it ever feel like your family doesn't care what you want? It didn't used to feel that way. I know Gran loves me, but sometimes when she looks at me, it's like she's looking at a problem.
Luka took a deep breath, exhaling slowly.
I know the feeling. How do you deal with that? Make friends. I guess I haven't yet. But one thing my dad told me when I was little, don't hold a grudge, especially against yourself. If you try to hold it all in, you're gonna pop. So then, what do you do when you don't know what to do? Dad never got to that part. Something I figured out on my own, though. You gotta do something. Anything. Here. What are you doing? I don't know. Something. We're gonna register our complaints with the storm. Listen here, you miserable universe. Stop jerking me around. I just want things to go back the way they were. Everyone tells me I'm gonna be alright. That things are gonna change.
Luka let out a feral scream that echoed into the night.
Every time something changes, everything gets worse. Screw this town. Whoa. Let me try. Moving sucks. I hate it. I hate that. I hate it. Why can't I just deal with it and be happy for my mom? Why can't we just stay somewhere?
Her voice dropped to a trembling whisper.
I just want to be a normal
Beck
kid.
brushed off her shirt and straightened up.
There. Poor kid. Wow, I actually feel a little
As
better.
abruptly as it began, the storm abated.
Thanks, I needed that. Me too. I should head out before the rain starts up again. Sure, I'll walk you out. See you and Rolo at the festival. Sounds good. Luka, don't let the universe jerk you
Beck
around.
gave Luka a light thump on the arm before heading in. Chapter 5. Friendly Feud. The air was heavy with the hard rain's residue, the smell of wet things. Despite his dreary surroundings, Luka felt at peace. He'd never shared those details about his dad with anyone, not even Rolo. But it's not like this changed anything. Rolo was still his best friend. Adding Beck to the group would help balance things out. Everything's better in threes. This is what Luka told himself as he headed to the treehouse.
Catch up with Rolo at the treehouse. Here we go. I think it's only like 2 scenes over. Oh, what's she doing here? Hey, Don. Track it down a lead? You bet. I heard a juicy new rumor. Turns out when Sharper Valentine died, he left behind a peculiar last will and testament. Peculiar how? He didn't just give his kids an inheritance, there were conditions. Like what? The document stipulated that Eris had to take on a child as her ward. A kid our age who just showed up to town one night with a lawyer. Solomon? Bingo. So Eris was forced to take care of him? Yep, or she would have lost everything. Why would Sharper care so much about some random kid? Rumor has it old Sharper sowed some wild oats. That explains why Eris treats him. Poor Solomon. How did you find all this out? A good reporter never reveals her sources, Luka. So the kid in the vest, Solomon, is an illegitimate child? Ooh, why are these glowing? They weren't glowing before. Get to the treehouse. Get into the phone booth? Nope. Okay, we gotta run. Hops, 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 hops. Skip our way there. Oh, why is she still out here? Lady, you need to go home. Did you read your book the entire time it was raining? He met his old friend's eyes and was greeted with nothing but ice cold anger. Heavens, this is no time for fractured friendships. We're gonna get into a fight with Rolo. I don't like that. Excuse me, what are you doing? Just locking up for the night, sir. Oh, wonderful. I can only assume this means all festival preparations have been completed ahead of schedule. Not exactly, sir. The storm set us back a bit, and it's getting late, so we all decided. Yes, sir. I was unaware that your job involved deciding things. We are all here at Perennial Harvest because we believe in creating a better future, yes? Yes, sir. Very much, sir. Do you want to be the one to tell this town that we failed them? How are you failing us? What is this festival doing? No? That we gave up because there was a little rainstorm and we all got sleepy? Of course not, sir. Good, then it's decided. Yes, sir. We'll work till the task is done. See that you do. Our harvest awaits. Harvest? Are they harvesting people? I'm confused. My idea that grandma's making jam out of people and they're harvesting things. What are they harvesting? Rolo, are you still up there? I'm sorry, Rolo isn't accepting visitors at the moment. Come back, never.
Luka had only ever heard him speak in this stiff yet gentle tone a few times, and it always meant one thing.
You're upset. Oh, what makes you say that? Maybe because my best friend abandoned me for no reason? I didn't abandon you. I was just a little
Rolo
late.
scoffed.
The rain held me up. Liar! You weren't even home. What? The storm got bad and I got worried, so I went looking for you. Imagine my surprise when I made it to your house. You weren't there. I hadn't made it back yet. I'm not a fool, Luka. It doesn't take all day to deliver some jam. No, A storm rolled in out of nowhere, and I got stuck after dinner at Beck's.
Luka stumbled on his words, knowing he'd said too much.
Beck? Dinner? What the heck is a Beck? She's a new kid in town. She's actually kind of cool. You'd like her. She needed help convincing her parents that she made new friends. New friends? I spent all day waiting for you, and you were off making new friends? It's not like that, Rolo. You know, while I was waiting, I made some upgrades to mission control. It was gonna be a surprise, but you took so long the storm knocked it all down. Just look, just like you knocked down our friendship. What does that even
Luka
mean?
became instinctively angry in response. Both boys were now shouting across the distance.
It means you're a bad friend. You don't care about me. Of course I care, you ass. I knew you'd get in trouble waiting so late for you, but I kept my word, because that's what friends do. Oh, wow, what a noble sacrifice you made. Easy for you to say. Your grand doesn't even care. You can't stay out as long as you want, or you can stay out as long as you want. You wouldn't even get in trouble. Seriously? You're acting like I chose this? If that's what you think, then maybe you're the bad
Rolo's
friend.
tone changed to a calm, yet more intense anger.
Maybe Pa's right. Storms bring more than water. This one brought out the real Luka. Stop quoting your Pa's nonsense like it means anything. Yeah, well, at least my Pa is still
The
around.
words hung in the cold night air.
That was a low blow.
Rolo's stomach dropped, knowing he'd crossed a line. But it was too late.
Luka, Good night, Rolo. Dang it. What do we do?
Luka dug through his old stuff, not even sure what he was looking for.
A ball? Anything else we can look for? Can't write anything. Rolo. What a jerk. Call me a bad friend. Ooh, Rolo. I'm Rolo. Look at me, and I am my amazing family. Oops. I don't know what that said. Is that all we do? Kick a ball around? You gonna break something? I guess I'm just never supposed to make a new friends. Oh, he's sad. Luka,
Gran cooed gently from the hallway.
you slept straight through breakfast. Luka, are you alright? I'm fine. Just don't feel like getting up yet. Okay, I'll leave this oatmeal by the door. You gotta run out. I've gotta run out and take care of some things. Okay. I'll be back later to check in. Sure.
Luka just wanted to be alone. He waited to hear the sound of the front door closing.
I bet Rolo's still gonna go to the festival. He's gonna be miserable. Okay, so no new dialogue there. If Rolo thinks I'm still going to the festival with him, he can shove it. Do we just keep kicking the ball? Go back to sleep?
Luka dozed off again.
Luka, I see you didn't eat your oatmeal. Wasn't hungry. Well, just in case you get hungry, I'll leave a sandwich here too. Thanks. Rolo came by. What did he say? He wanted to talk to you. What did you say? I told him you weren't feeling well. Good. So your plan is to just sit in your room all day? Pretty much. Well, I need to pop away again for a minute. If you decide to end your pity party and go outside, I think it'll do some good.
Luka
Noted.
still couldn't bring himself to go out. Besides, if he ran into Rolo, he'd have to actually confront the situation.
There's never anything interesting at this festival anyway. Oh, do I hit the ball up there? I didn't make it. Hit. Nope. Okay, that's in a better spot. There, I did it.
The Adventures of Hank Atomic.
The complete first volume.
Luka carefully opened the cover and began to read. Rolo had received it for his birthday, a special hardcover edition with behind-the-scenes commentary and bonus art. Rolo cherished it, but asked that Luka keep it at his house. Luka wasn't sure if it was because Rolo didn't trust himself with it, didn't trust his sister around it, or just wanted an excuse to come hang out at Luka's more often. Whatever the reason, Luka didn't mind. But it had stayed right there where Rolo had stashed it ever since. Now, at the foot of his bed, Luka lost himself in the pages. He'd read it all before, but at this moment, it somehow felt sentimental. He was well into issue number 5 when he heard soft footsteps from the hallway.
Luka, another little friend came to see you. A girl named Beck Modil. Modwell? She said you met yesterday. What did she say? Is she here? She was just dropping by. I told her you weren't taking visitors today. Oh, she seems nice. Yeah? You had a fight with Rolo, didn't you? Can I come in? Maybe later. All right then. I'll leave dinner on the kitchen table in case you want a bite before
Without
bedtime.
realizing it, Luka had pouted away the entire afternoon. He once again felt the weight of it all and allowed his weary eyes to close. Luka stood in a vast black expanse. He looked up at his father standing beside him. Walt was working a straw at the bottom of a fountain glass, trying to collect the last bits of milkshake.
Oops, wrong button.
Dad, where are we? Taking a final loud gurgling sip, his father peered up from the glass. He jangled the straw playfully with a warm smile, then lifted the empty glass as if to point into the darkness. The source? Luka's eyes followed his father's gesture. In an instant, he was sitting in front of a blazing campfire. Across from him sat a large figure in a yellow hazmat suit. The figure's voice was a scratchy echo. Well, if it isn't the man of the hour, make yourself comfortable. Luka held his shivering hands over the flame to warm himself. It doesn't work that way here. Their yellow-gloved hand pointed to the base of the flame. It's a cold flame, see? Luka peered at the base of the fire. It wasn't wood that was burning. It was Beacon Pines itself. Tiny buildings, freezing and crumbling as they were consumed by flame.
So we had a dream yesterday where his dad was being frozen by ice and then like shattered into a million pieces. So this freezing thing is still happening. But what about these flames? What could it mean? Something's gonna change?
Luka
New
could see
beginnings?
small shadows moving in the burning city. People. Luka leapt to his feet. We've got to help them! The figure gave a dismissive wave of their hand. Why waste energy helping people who can't even help themselves? The figure bent down to examine the panicked crowd as they desperately tried to stop the flames. They only care about what's right in front of them, not like us. Luka's voice was a trembling whisper. Us? The figure slowly stood up, grabbing its helmet with both hands. With a jolt and a twist, the suit emitted a gasp. A cloud of torpid mist escaped, slowly revealing the face within. Luka's own face looked back at him, older, worn, distant. The sensation was oddly familiar, as if he'd caught his own reflection by surprise in the mirror. The doppelganger smiled. I tried to help once. He gestured towards his face. And all it got me was this. Luka staggered back. You aren't me. Luka felt a hand catch his shoulder. His father was there again, beside him. Every choice sets us on a path. This is the end of one of your paths, son. Luka watched his older self shake its head ruefully, its face twisting into a cruel grin. Welp, Dad, if you wanted him to see this, far be it from me to disappoint. Luka watched in shock as the figure took a confident step forward and plunged into the flames in a flash of cold light. He was gone. What does all of this mean? Luka felt a reassuring squeeze on his shoulder. Just remember, why we choose matters just as much as what we choose. Luka woke up to see a hazy figure at the foot of his bed. silhouetted in the morning sun.
Mom? No, dear. It's only Gran.
Luka rubbed his eyes. The kind, concerned face of his gran came into focus.
How are you feeling? Fine? Anything you want to talk about? Are we are we are we our dad? So my theory is that the Valentine kid, is really sharper, and they're about the same age. And the event happened 6 years prior. Hmm. Theories. I don't feel like talking. That's just a well. That's just as well. How about you sit there and listen a bit? Whatever you and Rolo fought about doesn't matter. But
Gran
he
silenced Luka with a gentle pat on the leg.
fights between friends happen. What was said doesn't matter. The important thing is that it's not the last thing you ever say to each other. But he said stuff about Dad. Well, do you think he meant it? No. He was just mad. And do you mean any of the things you said to him? No. Good. One must appreciate friends in their best moments and accept them in their worst. Accept. Now get your little butt out of bed. The festival's today. You don't want to miss that, do you? I guess not. Seems like a good opportunity to make amends with Rolo, doesn't
Luka
it?
gave a reluctant nod.
So buy him a corn dog and apologize. But he's the one that. What did I just say? Buy him a corn dog. That's a good boy. Everything's better with corn dogs. I need to get going now. Got some last minute festival business to take care of. I'll come find you at the fountain a little after lunch. All right. I love you, Luka. I love you too.
Luka took a deep breath.
Okay.
Chapter 6. Through thick and thin. Despite Luka's bitterness, Gran was right. He needed to hash things out with Rolo. A big fight changes the nature of a friendship. Whether, in the end, it is for the better or for the worse, all comes down to understanding. If one is not careful, the same familiarity that builds the strongest of bonds can become the wrecking ball that shatters them. Luka emerged from seclusion, taking in the crisp festival air, but the events of the day weren't on his mind. He had to find Rolo.
Okay, I wonder where he could be. Could he be at the treehouse? Or is he in town? Wonder if we get any dialogue here. Nope. This is where we start the game. Oh, it's his sister. There you are. Luka, Rolo wanted me to tell you something. What is it?
Roxy rolled her eyes, shaking her head.
A space adventure, though you needn't buy what? Space adventure, though you needn't buy it? If you be brave, go somewhere quiet. Roxy, I don't. It's a riddle, Luka. My goofy little brother wants you to find
Luka
him.
looked down and kicked at the dirt.
Look, I know you two had a fight. The only thing more annoying than my little brother is my little brother without his best friend. So I'm doing him this one favor. Now I need one favor from you. Whatever it is that went down between you two, squash it. A space adventure, though you didn't buy it. If you be brave, go somewhere quiet. Oh, we gotta go to the library. Somewhere quiet. His favorite space was the library because they have all the comics there. Unique New York, unique New York. Uh-huh. Oh, don't mind me. Just warming up my big ceremony
Mr. Kerr
speech.
pointed to his grinning mouth.
Gotta limber up the old gab box. You nervous? Oh, heavens no. Well, break a leg. How goes the beetle hunt? Pretty rotten. I haven't seen so much as an exuviae. It's not just the beetles. This morning I couldn't find any critters at all. It's like everything that buzzes or skitters just packed up and left. I'm sure they're out there somewhere. Maybe all the commotion of the festival just spooked them. Yeah, maybe that's it. It's not it. What is it? The mystery I need to know. Welcome to our festival. Don't forget to come back later for Mr. Kern's speech. And the oh my god. I've said this word how many times? You don't want to miss it. No. I don't know how perennial harvest thinks they're impressing with this ridiculous festival. Totally. The town's still falling apart. Weather's still cruddy. And this season's harvest looks like it's going to be worse than last year's. You said it. No amount of corporate pandering is going to change any of that. Exactly. But the lemonade at the drink stand over there does look pretty tasty. Fits. I'm still gonna be mad at them. I'd just rather be mad while sipping some delicious lemonade is all. Ain't moving.
Jeff was staring into the distance with a wistful look.
Hey Jeff, anything all right? Yeah, everything's fine. I mean, you used to be fine. Just ain't right these days yet, no? I really do, actually.
Jeff turned to Luka with a furrowed brow, then gave an understanding nod.
You do, don't you?
For a moment, the two now shared that same wistful gaze.
Haha, every single time. Yep. Ooh, little fireworks. Wait for it. Unexplained sound once again noted. Are they robots? Like clockwork. A bunch of drones. Haha. Is that why they all look alike? Are they all robots? The most welcoming of welcomes. Would you like to share your thoughts? We always strive to improve. Nope. Nope, I don't. This is the first time I've seen this many smiling faces since the fowl harvest. I had my doubts about perennial harvest, but I must admit they do put on a nice party. Let's go back here. See what these guys have to say. Hiya, Luka. How's Griffin doing? What? Oh, nothing.
Sorry all became flesh.
Just pretend I didn't say anything. Who's Griffin? I thought that was Griffin. Oh, she's not saying anything this time. Piper, you actually taking a break from studying? I wanted to see what all the festival fuss is about, but I can't help but notice you still brought your backpack full of books. Luka, backpacks can carry a lot more than just books. True, true. So what you got in there? Books? I was able to return the perennial harvest safety suit you borrowed. I don't think anyone noticed. Good. Now, will you tell me what you needed it for? It was a favor for an enemy of my enemy. This is going to harm Mr. Kern, isn't it? All you need to know is that it's for the good of the family. I wonder if he was in the hazmat suit and not the other guy. Talk to Dawn. I've got a question for you. What do you think this whole festival is for? The way I figure it, perennial harvest is trying to win over the town, like a bribe but with balloons. Cynical. I like where your head's at. That's what I assumed at first too, until I eavesdropped on a couple of gossipy clipboards. What if I told you that this whole thing is really a special shindig for a super secret guest of honor? Special guest? Who? I haven't dug that deep yet, but whoever it is, PH thinks they're a big deal. Could it be? Is it for me? Am I the special guest of honor? Is it the town founder?
A bit much.
Library's this way. The library's somewhere quiet. He's not in here. Hey, Luka.
Kato's eyes lit with excitement.
I've been expecting you. Bravo on deciphering the first riddle. Oh no. The first? Oh, you didn't think that was all, did you? Rolo does go all out, doesn't
Kato
he?
straightened up and cleared his throat as if preparing to sing.
Ahem. On planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a
Kato
tissue.
stared at Luka eagerly.
Get it? Want me to tell you? No, it's okay. Let me figure it out. Alright, when you find it, bring it here to be verified. And if you decide you want to hint, the offer still stands. Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. Wonder if it's the comic we have at home? Hi, Jesse. Still working through the newest Hank Atomic? You know it. Some fantastic canon toward the end. Did you know Hank Atomic's shrink array doesn't technically shrink stuff? It uses inverse quantum particle decay to literally grow the entire universe around an object, leaving that object unaltered, so it just looks shrunk compared to everything else. Bingo. That's wild. No spoilers, please. Alright, sorry.
Luka grabbed the Modern Science of Atomic Radiation from the shelf.
Once you've got a book, you can either bring it here to me, or just grab a different one. Okay, so it's something in here. Planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue.
Luka grabbed Natural Photography, Volume 5, from the shelf.
Ooh, is it this one? Let's see, what do we have here? Natural Photography, Volume 5. Nope, I'm afraid that's not the correct book. Okay, here's a hint. The words I emphasize are important. Our planet Farpole, you may take issue. When the fifth king dies, you'll need a tissue. Fifth. Fifth what? That had 5 in it.
There were rarely any actual new additions, simply a variety of existing content rotated into the front display each week.
Okay. Well, the comics are up here. So maybe it's up
Luka
here?
grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 4, from the... Luka grabbed The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue number 5.
Let's try this one. You found
Kato
it!
removed his book from the desk and replaced it with Luka's, turning on the lamp. As he slid the book under the purple light, 2 words glowed. The Adventures of Hank Atomic, issue 5. Luka clicked his tongue with recognition.
Rolo's cipher pen. He used to write secret messages everywhere with that. And only I had the special flashlight needed to reveal it. But I lost it. Well, apparently he traded Jeff for this purple light bulb. Parted with his entire Halloween candy stash. Oh, Rolo. Now let's see here.
Kato began flipping through the pages, stopping when he hit a glowing word.
Get away with such a
He continued
grift.
flipping.
Only found in Grub? Cards?
Reaching the end of the book, Kato looked up.
That's it. Grift in Grub cart. Griffin. Griffin's grub cart. He wants me to go to Griffin's snack stand. Oh, brilliant. I guess you're off then. Good luck on the rest of the scavenger hunt. Thanks, Kato. Boy, Rolo sure does know how to make a day interesting. So we need to go back this way then. And I don't know if it's gonna be... Are you Griffin? Yeah. Hey, Griffin. Did Rolo
Before
come?
Luka could finish his sentence, Griffin handed him a corn dog.
Oh, that's it. Bought and paid for. Enjoy. I thought there was supposed to be a riddle or
Luka
something.
shrugged, taking a sizable bite out of the corn dog.
Now I want a corn dog. I haven't had a corn dog in years. That's cold. Oh yeah, that's been sitting here for a while. Rolo wanted me to be sure to give you that one specifically. Well, that's
Luka tongued
just...
at his cheeks, feeling something rough between his teeth. He reached into his mouth and pulled out a slip of paper.
Oh, come
He shook off
on.
the bits of corn dog to read the slip.
I pick up when you need some pep. Near the fountain up the
Luka
step.
finished off the remainder of the corn dog.
This is getting to be a whole thing. I think we need to go behind the cafe. I think that's where we have to go. I don't know, we'll go talk to this kid real quick. Luka, did you know that Beacon Pines is actually unincorporated? A lot of people don't know that. Wow, yeah, I didn't know. What's that mean? It means most public works are handled internally. We do all the pipelines, the water treatment, building regulations. That's great. Census taking. Emergency services. Okay, so fountain and then step. I think it's up here. Yeah, okay. There you are, Luka. There's no way I'm actually doing this. It's way below my pay grade. Oh, come on, you big stiff. Let the kids have some fun. Fine, but Rolo owes me one.
He waved his hands around sarcastically as he began.
What takes flight but has no wings, your final task of friendship brings. See, that wasn't so hard. I feel cheapened somehow. I think it's sweet. What takes flight but has no wings. Good luck, Luka. What takes flight and has no wings? Hey, look, he's right there, a balloon. Hey! Hey! Did you find the comic book? Yep. And you got the corn dog? Yeah. Well then, I know it doesn't make up for what I said, but here, you've earned
Rolo
this.
sheepishly handed Luka the balloon.
Flight. Thanks. You didn't have to go all this trouble. I'm sorry I got so mad. Dang it, you were supposed to let me apologize first. Oh, sorry. Now you've apologized twice before me. Just let me do this. Luka, I'm really sorry. Everything that's happened with your mom and all, I've always wanted to be there for you. Be a good friend, you know? When you said you were hanging out with someone else, I kind of freaked out. Rolo, it's still my turn. I felt like if you needed some new friend to help you, it meant that I wasn't good enough. But that was selfish and wrong. I was wrong. I'm so sorry, Luka. Okay, apology over. You can talk
Luka
now.
threw himself at Rolo, hugging him as tightly as he could.
Aww. Rolo, I don't deserve you. I don't deserve you either. That's why we deserve each other. So, what else do you want to do today? We could snoop around and try to find some info about your mom. Snoop where? We could probably sneak into Perennial Harvest HQ while everyone's at the festival. Aren't you curious about all this stuff those clipboards write down? What if we get caught? I think I've had enough excitement for 1 week. Let's just make the rest of the day about us. Really? Yeah, the rest of the world can wait 1 more day. You know, I have been waiting to get some work done on the MCDC at Mission Control. AIM is a bit unpredictable. That sounds perfect. So, if we continue this line and we fix his plunger gun thing, then maybe we go back to the other line tree branch and we actually get away. Did you hear Mr. Kern gives his big speech? They're gonna have the first annual biggest catch competition. As long as a boot qualifies as a catch, I'm a shoo-in. Good luck. Oh, I almost forgot. I ran into your gran this morning. She asked me to give you this.
Rolo handed Luka an unopened letter.
I'll wait for you inside if you want to read it now. A letter?
Luka, some things are going to happen that might be difficult for you to understand. If I am honest, I hardly understand them myself, but whatever happens, I need you to know that I love you. None of this is fair to you. You have already lost so much. We both have. I wish there was a simpler way forward. But if there is, I haven't thought of it. God knows I've tried everything I've done. I did for you. I hope someday you can accept that. Love, Gran.
I love you too,
Luka
Gran.
folded the paper into his pocket and headed up the ladder.
Gran, what are you gonna do? What's up with the letter? Anything you want to talk about? Maybe later. Sure, whatever you want. You know, you really didn't have to go to all that trouble just to apologize. I know, but we'd been looking forward to the festival for weeks. After I ruined everything with my big mouth, this was the best way to make sure you still had a good time without me.
Luka was
Rolo.
at a loss for words, but that was fine. Words aren't always necessary.
The festival seemed nice. Was it nice? We can still go. Nah, this is fine. Well, there's always next year.
Sadly, this was untrue. A distant rumble shook the treehouse.
Grandma setting the town on fire? Aw man, we missed the fireworks.
It was not fireworks. It was something the boys couldn't possibly comprehend. Something as old and cruel as time itself.
What's happening? Oh, they froze!
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill.
Why?
Before they could react, it encased them in ice. Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene, in a silent treehouse turned statuary. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either.
I don't accept this ending.
More possibilities. I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.